Greetings and salutations, denizens of YouTube. My name is Etchy Charmed, and today we'll be doing a Redux on the Prince of Fighters. Prince of Void. A lot of these edits and patches were suggested by Ruby the Fiend, so shout out and credit to her. The Prince is one of the two destruction classes of Homestuck, the active counterpart to the Bard and the inverse of the Sylph. Princes destroy their aspect and destroy through their aspect, like how Aridin destroyed Hope through Hope by using his white magic to blast the Matriarch to pieces, or how Dirk seems to be able to destroy souls by ripping them out of the enemy, or splinter his soul and implant the fragments into others, or how Kurlauz seems to destroy Rage by having Mulin not be angry at him despite him being the reason she's blind. Princes also don't lack their aspect, but instead try to contain it. Aridin, for example, actually brims with hope, at least when it comes to romantic topics or placing his hope in something like joining forces with Bec Noir. Maybe because he seems to feel shame, fear, or other conflicted feelings towards his aspect. Looking at Dirk, he does seem to have a habit of containing his heart/emotions and trying to overly balance it with cold hard logic, looking at his interactions and relationships. Heck, even when he turned Trickster mode, he pretty much stayed the same person he usually is, which led to Arqueus Sprite taunting and mocking Dirk for it. Looking at Kurlauz, the Prince of Rage, he quite literally stitches his mouth shut after screaming so loud that he made Mulin deaf. That sounds like containment to me. How these conflicting feelings and struggles through dealing with these feelings manifests varies from prince to prince though, so keep that in mind. This class also seems to be cocky at times, like how Dirk assumed he'd actually be the one controlling his team behind the scenes, or how Aridin is just himself. At worst, a prince's arrogance can be their own destructive undoing in one way or another. At their best, however, they're competent leaders and powerful allies with a healthy amount of confidence in their actions, capable of destroying their foes with ease in order to protect that which they care about most. Void is the inverse of light and has to do with nothingness, emptiness, lacking, loss, infinity, and secrets. Void players have a tendency to usually fight with nothing, meaning that they fight using their hands. Even Roxy, who's definitely good with a gun, fought the Condas using only her bare hands and her god tier powers, never with Bro's sword except to deal the final blow. Those with the Void aspect are fine with not knowing everything, leaning towards the mysterious and unknown. They're known as the universe's secret keepers. The role of a Void player is to, as Arania phrased it, embrace nothingness and become one with it, then, ironically, overcome Void so that they can become relevant. To see the limitless potential in the Void, to find everything within nothing and bring it into being, as Arania also put it. Those of the Void-bound would rather be confused and have something be unconfirmed, rather than risk having something be untrue or be under the thumb of intellectual authority. At best, the Voidbound are wise, intuitive, and vibrant. At worst, they can be dismissive, indecisive, and apathetic. Now onto the Prince of Void themselves, again. Now, contrary to what I said in the past, the Prince of Void may hate secrets, but they wouldn't just randomly spout useless trivia, unless it was related to a hyperfixation of theirs, or their own secrets, but they would instead function like noir detectives, ironically revealing secrets to the public and their allies due to their disdain of ignorance or a lack in information, especially important ones that can be the missing link to victory. But maybe the prince would also be a hypocrite, trying to contain his own especially personal secrets while washing away the darkness obscuring the secrets of others. Or maybe it's more like that certain things need to be exposed and other information has a right to remain hidden. No one needs to know everything, after all. As for the Prince of Void's powers for destroying with Void, they would still be able to blast enemies with, well, blasts of darkness like Gabronth's Fulminating Darkness or Black Hole from his EX burst into Cydia, or using the power of nothingness to rip enemies apart from the inside, once again like Pumpkin Doryu's Nightmare Spread. Using two characters as reference for this one, ooh. For destroying Void itself, this power would make the Prince a natural predator and major threat to horror terrors, being a solid counter to their very existence, or, in a display of utility instead of more killing, the Prince of Void could use this power to navigate the furthest ring by weaving fractures and wormholes through it for slap-together pathways or plain old fast travel. But the Horde Terrors probably wouldn't like this either, and they might even try recruiting the Prince's Dursite allies to deal with them to keep this from happening, so be careful. As for the Healing Punch technique I came up with, that move might be getting a patch. It'd still be a sort of healing technique, but it'd require more focus from the Prince's part, forcing something that doesn't exist into existence, like a missing limb or eye. Without the proper focus towards such a vital part of a living creature's body, the missing part might manifest all wrong or not at all. Or it might appear as a prosthetic, who knows. Or they could use this power to create single-use weapons combined with their monstrous hand-to-hand capabilities, rivaling characters like Akuma, Heihachi Mishima, Geese Howard, or even heavenly restricted individuals from Jujutsu Kaisen, to make an opponent only the strongest of the strong would be bold enough to deal with. And I believe that's all I have to say on the matter. What do you think? Do you think the patches made to the Prince of Void are good? Think this Redux expanded upon the original video enough? If so, or if you believe it didn't, feel free to say so in the comments below, or on my Blue Sky Twitter, along with suggestions for future videos. Oh, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you think would be interested in it. I will probably make another poll to decide another batch of videos to work on, so don't forget to check that out. So with that, I bid you dudes, dudettes, and others adieu. Bye!